Few figures in professional wrestling have left an indelible mark quite like Mr. Fuji. Whether as an in-ring competitor or a devious manager, he cemented his place as one of the most memorable personalities in WWE history. Born Harimasa Yoshi Fujiwara on May 4, 1934, he crafted a career that spanned decades and shaped the landscape of wrestling both inside and outside the ring. His signature devious tactics, including the infamous salt-throwing trick, made him a beloved villain in the eyes of fans and an essential character in wrestling's golden era. This video explores Mr. Fuji's journey from humble beginnings to wrestling superstardom, his impact on the industry, his legacy, and the controversies that surrounded his career. Welcome to Wrestling with Me, the ultimate destination for wrestling fans. Get ready to dive into the world of high-flying action, jaw-dropping moments, and all the drama inside the squared circle. Whether you're here for legendary matches or in-depth analysis, this is the place to be. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay in the loop as we bring you the best wrestling content every week. Harry Fujiwara was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, during a time when professional wrestling was beginning to gain popularity in the United States. Growing up in a culturally diverse environment, he was exposed to various athletic endeavors but found a particular passion for wrestling. Trained by seasoned professionals, he made his wrestling debut in the early 1960s. Mr. Fuji started in regional territories, competing for promotions such as Pacific Northwest Wrestling and Georgia Championship Wrestling. It was in these early years that he developed his in-ring persona, combining technical skill with a knack for underhanded tactics that would later define his career. In the ring, he demonstrated agility, power, and a unique ability to engage audiences through his cunning behavior. Mr. Fuji's rise to prominence came through his tag team partnerships, particularly with Professor Toru Tanaka. The duo became one of the most dominant tag teams of the 1970s, terrorizing opponents with their brute strength and sneaky tactics. Together, they captured the WWF Tag Team Championship on multiple occasions, cementing their status as one of the most successful duos of their era. A major factor in Mr. Fuji's success was his ability to play the role of the conniving villain. And like traditional heels of the time, he introduced a unique element of mischief, often using hidden weapons or throwing salt in his opponent's eyes to secure victories. These antics made him a hated yet highly entertaining figure among wrestling fans. Beyond his time with Tanaka, Mr. Fuji also found success teaming with Mr. Sato. The duo continued his tradition of rule-breaking and championship victories, further solidifying his place as one of the premier tag team competitors of the time. As his in-ring career wound down in the early 1980s, Mr. Fuji transitioned into a managerial role, which would become the defining chapter of his wrestling legacy. Under his guidance, some of WWE's most notable superstars flourished, and he became synonymous with treachery and deception. The 1980s and early 1990s, often referred to as the golden age of wrestling, were a period of unparalleled success for the WWE. During this time, Mr. Fuji played a critical role in shaping the landscape of the company. With the rise of larger-than-life superstars such as Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and the Ultimate Warrior, managers like Fuji were tasked with ensuring that the villains of the era were just as compelling. One of Fuji's earliest and most notable managerial roles was with Don Muraco. Known as Magnificent Muraco, he was one of the top heels in WWE during the mid-1980s, and with Fuji by his side, he reached new levels of notoriety. Fuji not only guided Muraco to the Intercontinental Championship but also introduced comedic elements into their act, such as their parody of Miami Vice called Fuji Vice, which became a fan-favorite segment. Fuji played a pivotal role in their villainous identity, often interfering in matches and using his signature, salt-throwing tactics to gain the upper hand. Another major act under Fuji's guidance was the tag team Demolition. Originally presented as a knockoff of the Road Warriors, Demolition evolved into one of the most dominant teams in WWE history. With Fuji managing them, Axe and Smash captured multiple WWF Tag Team Championships and engaged in classic feuds with teams like the Hart Foundation and the British Bulldogs. In 1988, Fuji shocked fans when he betrayed Demolition in favor of a new team, the Powers of Pain. This move set off a heated rivalry between the two teams, leading to a dramatic showdown at Survivor Series. Fuji's treachery was a hallmark of his managerial style, making him one of the most unpredictable figures in wrestling. Perhaps the pinnacle of Fuji's managerial career came with Yokozuna. A massive, dominant force in the early 1990s, Yokozuna's rise to the top was orchestrated by Fuji's strategic brilliance. At WrestleMania 9, Fuji interfered in Yokozuna's match against Bret Hart, throwing salt in hard ties to help Yokozuna win the WWF Championship. Moments later, Fuji infamously challenged Hulk Hogan to an impromptu match, which led to Hogan defeating Yokozuna in mere seconds. Despite the setback, Fuji helped Yokozuna reclaim the championship later that year, solidifying his client's place as the top villain in WWE. Fuji continued to manage Yokozuna through multiple feuds, including battles against The Undertaker and Lex Luger. Even as Yokozuna's career began to wane, Fuji remained by his side, ensuring that he maintained his credibility as a top star. One of Mr. Fuji's most infamous tactics was the use of salt, often referred to as Fuji dust. By throwing salt in an opponent's eyes at a crucial moment in the match, he would give his client an unfair advantage. This tactic became his trademark and added to his reputation as one of wrestling's most cunning figures. Despite his on-screen villainy, Mr. Fuji was known for his humor and camaraderie behind the scenes. One of his most famous off-screen contributions was his participation in Fuji Vice, a parody skit that played on the popular Miami Vice television show. Featuring Don Morocco, the skit showcased Fuji's comedic side and remains a cult favorite among wrestling fans. Outside the ring, Fujiwara was known for playing practical jokes on fellow wrestlers. These ranged from light-hearted pranks to more elaborate ribs that sometimes bordered on cruel. Stories from his peers paint him as both a beloved figure and a notorious prankster in the locker room. While Mr. Fuji's career was filled with accolades, he was not without controversy. Some of his pranks were considered excessive, and his portrayal of an exaggerated Japanese stereotype has been criticized in retrospect. The character of Mr. Fuji played into cultural tropes that, while accepted at the time, might be seen as problematic by modern audiences. Additionally, some wrestlers have spoken about Fuji's rough treatment of talent and his harsh pranks. However, many still respected his contributions to the business and viewed him as a significant figure in wrestling history. Mr. Fuji's contributions to professional wrestling were officially recognized in 2007 when he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. The honor solidified his place among the legends of the sport, acknowledging both his in-ring accomplishments and his managerial success. His influence can still be seen today, as many modern managers and wrestlers employ tactics that he pioneered. The role of the devious manager, which he perfected, remains an essential element in professional wrestling storytelling. Mr. Fuji's career spanned several decades, evolving from a skilled tag team competitor to one of the most influential managers in wrestling history. His mastery of deception, combined with his undeniable charisma, made him a standout figure in WWE lore. While some aspects of his character and career remain subjects of debate, his impact on the wrestling world is undeniable. From championship glory to unforgettable moments of trickery, Mr. Fuji left a legacy that continues to be celebrated by fans and peers alike. His presence in wrestling history is one of cunning brilliance, and his name remains synonymous with the art of villainy in sports entertainment. On August 28, 2016, Mr. Fuji passed away at the age of 82. His death was met with tributes from fans and wrestling personalities alike, who remembered him as a key figure in the industry. WWE issued a heartfelt statement honoring his legacy, and many of his former colleagues shared fond memories of his contributions to the business. His influence can still be seen today, as many modern managers and wrestlers employ tactics that he pioneered. The role of the devious manager, which he perfected, remains an essential element in professional wrestling storytelling. Well, that's all we've got time for today, and a big thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future content. See you in the next video.